My name is Renate Stoever, and I'm the author of a book called Escape from Plauen. I wrote the book because I thought it was really necessary that people who have only seen wars on TV without the smells or anything to understand what it's really like. And I tried in the book to describe and take people there. The cover of the book of Escape from Plauen is really something that happened one night during the bombings. We were so exhausted that my mother decided, bombs or no, we're going to try and sleep in bed for once. And we did. But at that time already there were no more sirens because there were no roofs left. So you had to just listen to bombers arriving. And I woke up, I heard bombers real low over us. And I tried to wake my mother up. And she wouldn't budge because she was exhausted. And then the bombs started falling right close by. And that got her out of bed. When we came out, everything was burning all around us. And there were people screaming for help across the courtyard, and all the women ran to help, to see if they could help. And my sister and I were standing there. My sister was crying. I tried to comfort her because she thought my mother wasn't coming back. And I didn't know if she would come back either, because walls were collapsing and fire all over. And this is what is caught in my mind. My sister hanging on me, screaming. Yeah, I painted this only on a piece of cardboard because I didn't think it would be something I wanted to keep. I think the most important thing I want people to get from the book, that no matter how bad things are, if you have the will to survive and have faith, that you can make it and life will become good. We left 3 o'clock in the morning with a car my mother had organized with American cigarettes. And they took us about as close to the border as they could get us. And of course it was, when we got there, was maybe 5. And it was extremely cold. It was freezing. Snow was high. And we had to walk across the fields. And it didn't take long. You know, we were just covered with ice and snow. And the wind was throwing the ice pearls across the snow. And we tried to get up to a wood for cover. But we had to get there on a steep hill, and on halfway up the hill, my sister could not go further. And so we stopped. And then when we looked up, we saw this black snake coming towards us. And as it turned out, it was about 50 people who were held in check by guards with guns. They had been caught trying to cross the border. So we tried to hide, but it didn't work. They had us in no time. And we were supposed to march for 50 kilometers with the rest in the snow and the cold to a camp. But my sister was so little, and she looked blue in the face. And then they tried to separate us. And, you know, to take the children. And they wanted to take my mother. And we just hung onto her legs. We wouldn't let her go. And my sister was screaming, and I was crying. And so the soldiers then decided to take us to the mayor of the next village. And my mother had to promise not to try it again. And the mayor was supposed to send us back to Plauen. But what he did instead was give us directions how to get to the border the safest way, and what time the guards on the towers would change, because they had, every 100 meters, they had guard towers with armed soldiers who had orders to shoot. So we managed to get to one of the guard towers, and then we would have to cross something the size of a football field, which was open. But on one side of it was a young forest, and we crawled on all fours under the branches of these young trees to the other side, which was where a mature forest stood. And we managed to make it till there. And then we had to cross a little stream. And as we did, they started opening fire on us. And we threw ourselves to the ground again. And then, still laying on our stomachs, we see these boots in front of us. And we thought we got caught again. But it was an American GI. And he was so bored, I think. He was chewing gum. And my mother, got up and she tried to beg because they would send people back. And he just, waved his arm in direction west. So we were happy.